On set with me right now is Professor Becky Rhoades of Evangel University, who will be speaking on the trip she took with 11 other Evangel students, including our very own Daylea Duvall. Welcome with me, Becky Rhoades. Hi, Becky.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out. So can you talk to us a little bit about Germany?
Well, we, 11 business students and I took a trip to Berlin and to Hamburg during spring break. And the purpose of the trip really was to open the minds of the students to the possibilities of being involved in global business. Actually, the chances that they're involved globally in their career, the chances are high, and so you can't start too early to get used to that idea.
Yeah. So what was it like traveling the streets of Berlin and seeing all the historical sites that it has to offer? It
was exciting. It was a steep learning curve. There was lots to learn. It was exciting to learn. Even how we got around, as we learned, was represented a cultural difference. So we did a lot of walking, but of course we went by bus and by subway, and also in Hamburg we actually traveled by ferry. Oh. We traveled on a fast train from Berlin to Hamburg, so there were cultural differences even just in our logistics, and so lots of learning. In addition to learning about history, World War II, and the things that Berlin has become so famous for, the Berlin Wall and so on, we learned to navigate lots of cultural differences.
Yeah, and Daylea, you were on this trip as well, and you were able to see all that Germany has to offer. So how has this put a spin on your perspective in terms of business?
When we went to Hamburg, we got to meet with JET, which is the Philips 66 in Germany, and that really opened my eyes to the differences in how culture and language really affects business, and how just simple communication techniques can make the biggest difference in trying to get work done.
Yeah. How was it like for you as an adult and a professor going back with your students and watching them see everything they learned in the classroom kind of playing out for them?
Well, actually, I think I learned a lot about learning.
Yeah.
There's so much learning that you can't that doesn't happen without context. And so there were things they were heard, there were things that I actually told them before the trip that didn't sink in until they were there. Yeah. So for me, I think as a professor, I learned again anew that context makes a big difference. And I actually came home with ideas of changes I'd like to make in classes to increase learning by providing context early in the semester, for example, visiting plants, early in a semester class rather than later in the semester class, because I saw what a difference context made in the learning. And it was exciting, and it's easy learning. It's not difficult. It's not like studying a concept in a textbook that's hard to get. It's not like that. But it's still exciting learning at the same time.
Yeah, and now you're like all excited and ready for the next couple of weeks, 2 months left of the semester. And I'm hoping that all this energy really gets you guys going. So can you tell me what your highlights are individually from this trip?
I think spending the day with JET, the business, and we had top attention, top interaction with the CFO of JET in Europe, and with marketing reps, and we had cultural instruction that was very high quality. We probably couldn't put actually a price on it. It was unbelievable that we were the recipients of that. And then we took a 3.5–4 hour tour of Airbus production facilities, and that's like the best in production in the world. And so yeah, it was super to see those kinds of things.
Yeah.
More to put about JET and Airbus, I really enjoyed the context, seeing and experience what I've learned in the classroom, and being able to say, oh, this is what I've learned about, this is that concept, and actually physically seeing it in action played a huge part, in addition to learning all the history and seeing all the different buildings and architecture that I've learned about in history classes. It was just everything I've learned and studied in classes come to life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becky, and you as well, Daylea. So now we also have had the opportunity of talking with other travelers to Germany students, including Lauren McCreight. So check that out.
Probably the best part about this trip was the variety. We had the opportunity to do so many things. We learned about history, whether it be the Holocaust or Hamburg, and just the waterways there and the architecture and the buildings. That was beautiful and such an experience. We had business experiences. We toured Airbus, one of the major airplane manufacturing plants in Hamburg, Germany. We were picking up cultural things left and right and experiencing great things and eating great food along the way.